What's going on, lads and lasses? Today we're counting down the top 5 non-franchise slasher films, in my personal opinion, of course. Meaning, no Friday the 13th, no Halloween, no Silent Night Deadly Night, no Scream, etc. These are standalone slasher films. I will allow films with remakes, though. I was going to add an honorable mention, but I have so many backup slasher films to choose from that if this video does well, I might do a part 2. Without further ado, cue my music. Starting off the list, I'm going to go a bit modern with this first pick with In a Violent Nature. I would categorize this in the very heavy Friday the 13th influence type slasher film, though I feel like this film does stick out from the bunch due to us primarily following the killer's POV rather than the victim's. Basically giving us a look through the killer's eyes, which I gotta say, having the camera fixed above bro's shoulders kind of gives it like this third-person video game feel, like I'm watching someone play a Fallout walkthrough. The use of silence is executed to a T, along with the heavy footsteps and the nature ambiance. I mean, this film just looks and sounds beautiful. Relaxing in a weird way. Now, just because I said it's relaxing at times does not mean they skimp out on the gore. Holy shit, there is one kill specifically in here. I can't show it, but I'm gonna call it the yoga kill. Bro. I mean, the sheer creativity with that kill, I don't even know if that can physically happen, but I'm along for the ride. Now, this is a pretty experimental slasher film, but I do feel like 94 minutes is a bit of a stretch for this premise. If you haven't seen In a Violent Nature, I would go check it out. I mean, I would recommend it for that kill alone. Up next, we have 1980s Maniac, and I gotta say, this has some of the most realistic scalpings I have ever seen on film. And it doesn't stop there. Our killer Frank goes around scalping his victims in the New York night and placing their hair on mannequins. This is the best example I could do. This film is dirty, grimy, almost like a real-ish depiction of a serial killer. Well, not really ish if we had people like Ed Gein out there, so I guess Frank is like a realistic type depiction of a serial killer rather than the run-of-the-mill slasher. Maniac was a very independent film back when it came out, and audiences were very hungry for it, which I think films like this that push that level of gore led us to films like Saw, Hostel, and even Terrifier. Great slasher film, bleak tone, definitely recommend. Now we're cracking into the top 3, and I would say the films that are left are among my favorite slasher films of all time, including franchises. And at number 3, we're going with Joseph Zito's The Prowler, who also directed my favorite Friday the 13th film. And we get another practical effects performance from the legend Tom Savini, which I'm not going to complain about. This film is a banger, dude. In terms of plot, it does have a couple similarities to My Bloody Valentine, which you might see later on the list, you might not. We follow this World War II vet as he terrorizes this town for putting on their first graduation party since his origin. Sound familiar? Only thing I would change about this film is the cast. I feel like in between the amazing kills, we're left with very paper-thin characters, and it does affect the pacing just a tiny bit. Again, we get the master Tom Savini at work, so we can expect the amazing kills. My favorite being when he stabs the guy through the head and then his eyes roll back. Bro, cinema. If you're a fan of slashers, you've probably heard of this one already, but if you haven't, I would definitely recommend this tremendous slasher. Coming in at number 2, I'm throwing it to Intruder, directed by Scott Spiegel. And along with the Raimi brothers so involved with this, their flair kind of rubs off on this in the best way possible. This grocery store setting has to be one of the best single set locations for a low budget slasher film, especially when you're utilizing the meat hooks, the meat grinders. Why is there a butcher shop connected to your grocery store? This is a relatively simple slasher film, set in a grocery store with amazing kills. Sure, our cast isn't the best all the way around, but Elizabeth Cox does a good job as our final girl. I rarely ever say this, but this is one of the films that I feel like could actually use a good modern remake. I have written a slasher film myself, and Intruder has been the most influential film for that, so I got a little bit of bias for it, and for that, it's going at number 2. And at number 1, possibly my favorite slasher film of all time, we have My Bloody Valentine. Now, this is a film I am shocked never got a sequel, never got anything back in the day. Like, this film literally has everything. It's got amazing kills, amazing cast, amazing setting, amazing killer. What more can I ask for? I don't know if I can say anything bad about this film if I tried. The setting of this small Canadian mining town feels lived in, and with the main cast being miners themselves. No, not those miners, Jeffrey. Get the fuck out of here. This cast is very likable, and they actually have some personality. Like, I don't mind watching them hang out, drink beer, play harmonica. I don't mind it. To add on to that, we get a love triangle with our main characters, which just add the cherry of drama on top of this Valentine's film. Sadly, back in the day, the MPAA had a stick up their ass and fisted My Bloody Valentine a new one and cut 9 minutes of footage out of the entire runtime. Luckily, some copies out there you can still find with the footage cut back into it, though it is a lot lower quality. But regardless, these kills are phenomenal. I don't even know who did the makeup effects for this film, but the eyeball kill, eyeballs are my Achilles heel. I can handle any gore. You touch an eyeball, ugh. I would recommend this film 1,000 times, especially if you're a slasher fan, but make sure you get the unrated cut because it's definitely going to be worth it. And that's my top 5 standalone slasher films. If you feel differently or got a list of your own, drop it in the comments. Let's not be strangers now. We are so close to hitting our goal with 1,000 subs by the 4th of July. And at this rate, we're ahead of schedule. I could not do it without the support. The support of you guys. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay notified. I'll see y'all in the next one. Damn, I really need to make an outro.